Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taya and this is Taya's Turning Pages. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to go over all of the books that are coming out in the month of January that I'm really excited to add to my TBR as well as read and just talk about with you guys. So before we get into that, of course, I have to give a few disclaimers. So first things first, this is actually my first sit down video in 2024. I haven't filmed a true proper sit down video since September of last year, which is honestly wild. So if I'm a little bit rusty or if this video seems a little bit awkward, I apologize, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, y'all. I really am. The second thing that I wanted to say is that it's really windy where I'm at right now, and so apologies if you hear any of that in the background. Obviously I'm going to try my hardest to speak as loudly as I can, but there's not much I can do about it. And then the last thing that I wanted to say is that I think I had the flu earlier this week and I haven't gotten sick in years, so honestly this was probably long overdue, but I'm still recovering from that, so I do sound a bit nasally and a little bit hoarse, but again, there's really not much that I can do to control that. I have to film this video today and I have to get it out, but hopefully this video will bring you some form of enjoyment one way or another. So this video is actually going to be a little bit different than what I've normally filmed on my channel, and that's because I am trying to figure out just the direction of my channel and also just the direction of the type of content that I'm making and I'm putting out there. I feel like you guys probably hear this from a lot of booktubers, especially in the beginning of the year. We're all trying to figure out ways in which we can elevate our channels and our content, but still of course keeping like those true authentic pieces of ourselves ingrained within our channel. This particular video, and I guess series if you want to call it that, is going to be like a new addition slash rebrand of sorts, because I have filmed anticipated releases videos on my channel in the past. I'll leave them linked up above in the card somewhere just in case you want to check them out. But normally what I do is I pick a few books from each of my favorite genres and make that one video in the beginning of the year, so in January, and then I don't make any follow-up anticipated release videos for the rest of the year. And I realize that that is very silly and that I need to start doing that, or at least doing something like that, because there's just so many books that are published throughout the year and so many surprise releases and drops from our favorite authors that sometimes you don't know about it, obviously. So I really want to do my due diligence. I am going to start filming monthly anticipated release videos, so that way I can have a wide variety of books that I talk about, and also there's not that commitment of including them in TBR videos or other content type of videos where if I don't get around to it I don't feel guilty about it. So I feel like this is a win-win for me, for you guys, because it's more book content and it's also just a way for me, like I said, to stay on top of the book world and really understand what books are coming out throughout the year. This is not a new concept. I did not start this, and I don't know who the original creator is for this type of video. The creator that I saw this from and that I was inspired to make these types of videos from moving forward is actually from Burrows and Books, aka Camila. So I'll leave Camila's channel link down below. So with all of that out of the way, let's get started. So the first book that's coming out in the month of January that I'm really looking forward to is The Breakup Tour by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigma Broca. This book sounds like it's going to be so much fun. This is a second chance romance following an aspiring musician, and I love the second chance romance trope, as you guys know if you've been following my channel for a while, how much I love that trope. So that already checks off that box. Riley Wynn went from a promising singer-songwriter to a superstar overnight, thanks to her breakup song, concept album, and its unforgettable lead single. When Riley's ex-husband claims the hit song is about him, she does something she hasn't in 10 years and calls Max Harcourt, her college boyfriend and the real inspo for the song of the summer. Max hasn't spoken to Riley since their relationship ended. He's content with managing the retirement home his family owns, but it's not the life filled with music he dreamed of. When Riley asks him to go public as her songwriting muse, he agrees on one condition: he'll join her band on tour. As they perform across the country, Max and Riley start to realize that while they hit some wrong notes in the past, their future could hold incredible things, and their rekindled relationship will either last forever or go down in flames. Yep, I'm seated. I am seated for this. And Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigma Broca, the co-authors of one of my favorite romance books, The Roughest Draft. I actually was approved for an arc of that book, and I read it before it was published. So I was really happy about that because I ended up loving the book. A lot of readers did not like that book, which I still can't wrap my head around to this day, because I felt like that book was very Emily Henry coded. And I don't want to go into too much detail about that book, but if you read it, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Ever since I read The Roughest Draft, I told myself that I was going to read more by these two authors, and I just haven't yet. They They do have another book out called Do I Know You, and I haven't read that one. It's on my TBR. I just haven't picked it up yet, and I'm not sure what the general consensus is on that book. I really loved both Austin Sigmund-Broca's and Emily Wibberley's writing style in the roughest draft. You could just tell that there was a sort of synergy when it came to their writing and their storytelling, and I really liked it. And they are husband and wife. I really hope I end up liking this one as much as I love the roughest draft. I'm obviously going to try my hardest to not compare the two because apples and oranges, but there's still that element of the second chance romance, and I can see that Austin Sigmund-Broca and Emily Wibberley like that trope, and I'm not mad at it. I can't wait for this to release on January 23rd, and of course I will give you guys my thoughts when I get around to this book. Now we're going to move on to the final genre in this video, and that is thrillers. I'm excited about all of these books, but I'm really excited about these thrillers because at least one of these books is written by one of my favorite autobi authors. So we'll start with her. And so the book that I'm talking about is Only If You're Lucky by Stacey Willingham. So y'all know I am the Stacey Willingham girl, okay? I loved A Flicker in the Dark before it got popular, and I also loved All the Dangerous Things. I know a lot of people didn't really care for that one as much as they care for A Flicker in the Dark, which really breaks my heart because I felt like Stacey Willingham did a great job with All the Dangerous Things. When it comes to this author, she can do no wrong for me. She is one of those authors that does a really great job at writing gothic, southern, literary fiction slash mystery thriller books, and I just feel like she has her niche and she's good at it, and she found her target audience with me for sure. But I'm just really excited that she has a new release, and I can't wait to dive into this book. I know nothing about it, so right here the synopsis says, Lucy Sharp is larger than life, magnetic, addictive, bold, and dangerous, especially for Margot, who meets Lucy at the end of their freshman year at a liberal arts college in South Carolina. Margot is the shy one, the careful one, always the sidekick and never the center of attention. But when Lucy singles her out at the end of the year, a year Margot spent studying and playing it safe, and asks her to room together, something in Margot can't say no. Something daring, or starved, or maybe even envious. And so Margot finds herself living in an off-campus house with 3 other girls. Lucy, the ringleader, Sloane, the sarcastic one, and Nicole, the nice one. The 3 of them opposites, but also deeply intertwined. It's a year that finds Margot finally coming out of the shell she's been in since the end of high school, when her best friend Eliza died 3 weeks after graduation. Margot and Lucy have become the closest of friends, but by the middle of their sophomore year, one of the frat boys from the house next door has been brutally murdered, and Lucy Sharp is missing without a trace. From the author of A Flicker in the Dark and All the Dangerous Things comes a tantalizing thriller about the nature of friendship and belonging, about loyalty, envy, and betrayal. Another gripping novel from an author quickly becoming the gold standard in psychological suspense. Exactly, give her 10s. Period. They gave Stacey Willingham her 10s, as they should. Take away 2, 8 it up again. Yes. I'm so happy that she's starting to get that recognition. She's very talented when it comes to playing with the reader's psyche. This book sounds like it's truly right up my alley because we got a toxic female friendship group. Y'all know how I feel about my toxic female friendship groups. That's already checking off a box. There's a murder that took place. There's a murder in Savannah that took place, and it's set in college. I don't care how old I get, I'm always gonna love these thrillers that take place at college because it transports me back to a simpler time in my life, and I miss it. This book publishes on January 16th, and at the time that I'm filming this video, it is January 13th. So next Tuesday, this book will be available, and I'm definitely gonna have to, like I said, pre-order this from Amazon or something of the sort because I need this, and I need to be able to sink my teeth into it very quickly. Second to last book that I have here is No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. So Kate Alice Marshall is a new to me author. I actually read her book What Lies in the Woods last year during the fall season, and I was obsessed with that book. I still think about What Lies in the Woods to this day because of not only the intricate plot and the way that Kate Alice Marshall was able to really shock the reader with a lot of the different twists and turns that took place in the story. I just really like the fact that Kate Alice Marshall went there. I feel like when it comes to a lot of thrillers nowadays, authors will sometimes hold back from really getting too dark and gritty. So like with What Lies in the Woods, she did just that because there were so many moments throughout that book where I was just completely taken aback by like how graphic it got. And again, I wasn't expecting that. So similar to What Lies in the Woods, this book follows another group dynamic, and instead of this following 3 best friends like What Lies in the Woods follows, this book follows 3 sisters. So right here it says, the author of What Lies in the Woods returns with a novel about 3 sisters, 2 murders, and too many secrets to count. Emma hasn't told her husband much about her past. He knows her parents are dead, and she hasn't spoken to her sisters in years. Then they lose their apartment. Her husband gets laid off, and Emma discovers she's pregnant, right as the bank account slips into the red. That's when Emma confesses that she has one more asset, her parents' house, which she owns jointly with her estranged sisters. They can't sell it, but they can live in it. But returning home means that Emma is forced to reveal her secrets to her husband, that the house is not a rundown farmhouse, but a stately mansion, and that her parents died there, were murdered. And that some people say Emma did it, Emma and her sisters have never spoken about what really happened that night. Now, her return to the house may lure her sisters back, but it will also crack open family and small town secrets lots of people don't want revealed. As Emma struggles to reconnect with her old family and hold together her new one, she begins to realize that the things they have left unspoken all these years have put them in danger again. Ooh, that sounds like it's gonna be so good. Okay, yeah. All of these books, y'all, I'm gonna have to pre-order them right after I'm done filming this video because these just all sound too good. And of course, like at this moment, I want to read every single one right now, but these thrillers are really speaking to me, and that's saying something because I haven't read a thriller in a minute. I mean, granted, I haven't really read too many books in a minute. The books that I have been picking up and slowly helping me get out of my weird reading slump are romance books. The fact that I'm getting excited about thrillers again makes me really happy. I feel like this book is really going to do what I need it to do. And this book publishes on January 23rd. And the last book slash thriller that I have here is Midnight by Amy McCulloch. So you guys probably haven't heard me say that name in a long time. That's because the first and only book that I've read by Amy McCulloch, and that I think she's only published besides this new one, Midnight, is called Breathless. And that book came out, I want to say, back in 2021, 2022 maybe. It's been a minute since that book debuted. I know a lot of readers did not really care for that book. Even though I did enjoy Breathless, I definitely had my own critiques and issues with the book, but overall I still thought that it was a solid debut and a solid thriller, especially considering Amy McCulloch's background, because for those of you who do not know, she climbs mountains, like actual like mountains like Mount Everest and things like that. So she decided to write her own thriller that pretty much has the main character doing the same exact thing as her, but she is back, and she's back with a new thriller. And like I said, this one is called Midnight, and just judging by the cover, this one is also giving winter Arctic tundra, just like Breathless, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this book is all about. Right here, the synopsis says, Olivia Campbell has always dreamed of spending a sunlight night on the frigid Antarctic continent, but as an actuary who assesses risk for a living, she never imagined she would have the chance. So when her career takes an unexpected detour and her boyfriend, a high-powered art dealer with a taste for the finer things in life, decides to stage an ostentatious career-making auction on a luxury liner to Antarctica, Olivia is thrilled. That is, until things start to feel a bit strange. In addition to the scores of wealthy patrons and potential buyers, they'll also be traveling alongside a small group of employees of Pioneer Ventures, the company responsible for managing the ship, and their charismatic, divisive CEO. When the first bodies are discovered, it's easy enough for Olivia to write it off as a terrible accident. But as the situation heats up and the temperatures continue to plummet, she begins to wonder whether she might have booked a one-way ticket to her own demise. Okay, Amy McCulloch, this sounds like this is going to be really good too. And I love the fact that Amy McCulloch is delivering us another snowy winter Arctic tundra book, like I said. And that might be her niche, and that might be her lane. And if I end up liking this book the way that I liked Breathless, then I'll continue to check for that lane. This book actually already published, so I missed the wait for this, y'all. Sorry. This one came out on January 2nd, so I'm definitely gonna have to pick this one up and see what it's giving. I'm not sure what the general consensus is on this book, and I don't know if people like this one better than they like Breathless. I'll see once I finally read this book for myself and for my own thoughts. All right, y'all, and those are all of the anticipated releases that I am looking forward to in the month of January 2024. So definitely let me know down below if you have heard any of these books, if you have any of these books on your TBR, or if you've read any of them. I would love to know and chat with you guys as always. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me and my channel out. And lastly, please make sure you follow me on Bookstagram as well as Storygraph. I will leave all of that information linked down below, as well as at the end of the video like I always do. I will see you guys in my next video.